morning, viewers. Welcome to another episode of our special show, The Nigerian We Want. The Nigerian We Want is a collaborative project of leadership and the United Nations International Children's Education Fund, UNICEF. So it features students from different schools across the FCT as they talk to us about the kind of Nigeria they want or envision for themselves in the areas of education, healthcare, governance, and security or insecurity as it may be. So joining me on the studio today, we have the students of Alloyed Monek International School.
My name is Oluchiso, and I'm from Alloyed Monek International School. I'm in SS2.
Thank you. And Precious?
My name is Precious Ilana. I'm from Cradle to Excellence Academy and I'm in SS2.
So thank you so much. We will start off with education. Since that's where we're all coming from, we've all been to school one way or the other, and some of us are still in school. When we talk about the sustainable development goals, you know of the SDG, right? You have heard of it, right? Right. So one of the key factors they mentioned there is access to education, and not just access to education, but access to quality education. What do you think access to education means?
Where children are taken to quality schools and given the right knowledge and they can be able to get the necessary knowledge needed for them to grow effectively.
So what do you think about that? What do you think access to education means?
It means like rich parents, they can take their children to the quality schools.
So what do you think quality education means? When you say you are receiving quality education, what do you think we are talking about?
Talking about the level a child can go to.
Okay. So let's talk now about education in your school. What's it like, studying science in your school? How do you study science education in your school?
Okay, I love the science education in our school because we have quality teachers who can impact the right knowledge on most of our subjects, like physics, biology, chemistry, and so many others. So I enjoy the quality education in our school.
So do you do like practicals when it comes to sciences?
Yes, we do chemistry and physics practical, and we do biology practicals.
So could you give me an example of a practical course or subject that you've done in your class?
We have done a practical in physics, a pendulum practical, a simple pendulum, finding acceleration due to gravity by a simple pendulum.
Okay. So that also. So what about you? Have you had the same practical?
No.
So what kind of practical education have you witnessed so far in your school? Mathematics. Okay. So still on that, let's talk about the libraries. Part of what makes up your education is the libraries, and of course the ICT rooms. Do you have that in your school, and what's that like?
It's like a room, but there's where we teach computers, where they train you on computers, and libraries if you want to read.
So how often do you use the library in your school?
Not that often.
Why?
No, I don't have those free chance.
Okay, so you mean like by the time you're in school, you study so much that you don't have the time to even visit the library?
No, I have time. I do create times, but not every day.
But how do you think libraries can help impact your education?
And when you're in the library, there is a silent environment for you to learn. And most children don't like a noisy environment. So when you're in a silent environment, anything you are reading or studying, you will likely understand it better than in a noisy environment. And the library also provide books. For instance, a child may not have a textbook, but he goes to the library and gets that textbook, and it gives him a broader understanding of the topic.
Wow. Okay, so how often have you done that yourself?
Well, sometimes I go to the library and pick textbooks and read, like physics and biology textbook. and it gives you a broader knowledge on that thing, even if you yourself don't have a textbook.
But do you find sometimes, because I know in my days when we don't have teachers to, or the teachers are not teaching us practical versions of what we need to learn, we usually go to the library to study ourselves. Is that something that you still find happening today in school?
Well, me, I just go to the library to add extra knowledge to what the teacher have taught in class, because our teachers are quality teachers. They teach sound education, and so I just go to add to what they have, so to give me a better understanding.
So you think what you are receiving at the moment in your school is quality education?
Yes, ma'am.
You think so?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you attend extramural classes for that? And it's when you're heading towards your
Right.
YX, so you just do the school classes and that's all.
Yes. But I will be enrolling in an extramural class by January.
And would that be with the school or outside of the school?
So outside of the school.
Why? Why do you choose outside of the school?
Because the school, their own lesson is part of the school time.
Okay.
So it's just part of what everybody's doing the school lesson.
Mhm.
So I still do extra moral classes outside of the school.
But why do you need that? If not that you want to get ahead, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means there's still need for quality education in our schools.
Yes.
Even really understand that the first time now. So let's get back to Precious. How often do you find yourself, when you're not without a book, you go to the library and you find that book in the library?
Sometimes when I don't have my complete textbooks, I do go to the library and take some of them and read ahead.
Do you have enough books in your library? How often do you stock, like replace books in your library? Because libraries are meant to be replaced. When books are old, you replace them with new ones. So how often do you do that in your school?
Like 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months. Okay. So still moving on, let's discuss another area. Let's talk about health now in this instance. What is your experience going to a hospital like? When you want to go to a hospital, tell us how that happens. What's your experience going to a hospital to receive treatment?
I sometimes was scared.
Or were the nurses and the staff, were they nice?
Yes.
Or were they always like, we have to wait for hours before you attended to?
No.
Do you visit private or public hospital?
I visit private.
Private hospital. Okay, good. So what about you, Yunus? What do you think of healthcare system in Nigeria? Do we have access to quality healthcare system in Nigeria?
No, we do not have access to quality healthcare.
Why do you say so?
When you go to the hospital, instead of it to be attended to immediately, you have to wait in line, and this is not supposed to be so.
Good. Do you perhaps have you heard of insurance, health
Yes.
insurance? Do you
Yes.
have one, or so how do you guys do that? Because part of having access to quality healthcare is having insurance, right? Which there are many ways to do it. Sometimes you can either fund it by yourself, or there's a new one that people do now where you collect your waste and then you give to an organization and then it creates healthcare insurance for you. So each time you go to the hospital, when you renew you keep on giving out your waste to the organization, a certain amount is being piled up that you go for. When you go to hospital, you don't have to pay again. What do you think that the Nigerian government should do to ensure that there's access to quality healthcare for children as yourselves?
The government should provide enough surgical equipment, should make bigger hospitals so different people can be treated simultaneously without having to wait. And due to this waiting, people have died in the hospitals because they are not attended to immediately.
So what do you think can be done to enhance, especially government? What do you think you want governments to do to enhance quality healthcare?
And they should make it more larger so that people will not be dying, so that immediately they come, they can be attended to.
And there's also this thing about doctors leaving country and going outside country to work. What do you think government should do to keep our doctors in Nigeria?
Should create qualities work.
extra, like increase their pay, pay them extra, and provide the, of course, the equipment they need in order to be able to do the work. Well, thank you so much, students, for joining us today. I know you guys are preparing for your exams, right? I wish you all good luck.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, viewers, and join us next time for another episode of The Nigeria You Want.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.